starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Evening.
Good evening all, and welcome back to Movie Chats. Hope you've all had a good Christmas day. Looking forward to New Year, and then we can all settle back after the madness.
That was bloody Christmas 2021.
How's little Steve? How's your week been, mate? Since I've last seen
Yeah,
you?
like I say, I've been busy at work, so yeah, it's been all right. It was a bit weird going back after Christmas. I wouldn't mind having that period off at some point, across from Christmas to New Year. But yeah, it's been all right, mate. Just been busy trying to get some pickups in where I could. So I've got some stuff to show. But yeah, it's not too bad. I hope everyone in the chat's okay. Thanks for joining us, guys. Really appreciate it. I thought Lana was working, but clearly she's here.
So we've got the Dave in, Lana's in. Gatan, long time no see, bud. Hope you're all right.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah.
Get out of the way first.
No, I think that's it. I think that's all we've got in. Dave, Gatan and Lana.
Oh, well, there we go. Well, it'll grow.
Yeah,
I'm sure it will.
As the show will go on. So, like I say, hope you've all had a good Christmas. You've all got exactly what you wanted from Santa. If not, the sales have started, so I'm sure you can go and buy it yourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Leo, have a good day.
Yeah, mate. He just ravished the house. He got absolutely everything out. He's playing with it all, and then his older brother come round for a bit, so that was nice to spend some time with him. But yeah, it was a good day. Good day. I think Boxing Day was a bit of a quiet one because we were just sort of chilling out in the house, and to be fair, we're still getting rid of packaging from all the toys he'd got. He spent weeks telling me I'd probably not got enough for him, and then I was like, "Yeah, all right then."
Yeah,
literally, I think we filled the grey bin on one sitting, so it was good. It was nice. He got a lot more into it this year because obviously he's got more of an understanding. So he was even trying to open presents that weren't his. So yeah, he didn't do too badly. How about yourself?
Yeah, not bad, mate. It's just been a busy week. Being on call before Christmas, and then obviously we've had to do all the. We went to Lana's mum's Christmas Day, and then Boxing Day we were out with my girls, and then we had people around Monday. Have fun, Chris. Enjoy your meal.
Yeah, enjoy your meal, mate.
It's Chris will be on a corner as he doesn't do spicy stuff. I take it.
Probably not.
Yeah. So it was nice, nice and relaxing, but long all at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Like I say, it went a bit quick for me, but it was long days at the same time. So
yeah. Catan saying he's just finished watching season 2 of The Witcher. Let me know what you think of the ending of that, Catan, and what you reckon to this Blood Origins about the elves. That are going to be is the spin-off. Because that looks quite good. But I'll be interested to see what you think. Evening, Ashley. Hope you're okay.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you for joining us. I think one of the things I want to talk about a bit later on is obviously we'll go into a bit more detail on the Matrix. I think now we've both seen it.
Yeah, we can go. We'll do that.
With that a bit later on.
We'll do that with the free for all, mate. And I'll be
interested. No worries. Hey, Queen, thank you for popping in.
Because I did get slated on in a couple of the
you're not bitter about this, are you? Yeah, you're not bitter about this, Steve.
No, I'm not. I did get slated a little bit in a couple of the side chats throughout the weekend.
I've got a question. I've got a question for the chat. Can anybody tell me where this jumper's from?
Primark.
No. Can you tell me what it's from? It's from a movie.
Ah, right. Is it?
Well, that'll be a good one if anybody actually knows that. If you know, you know. That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm wearing a hat to sort of compliment it.
Is it something like the Breakfast Club or something?
No, mate. No, it's not. literally, I'd seen this, right? It was the only one I could find, and it was on eBay. For anybody out there who uses eBay. But it literally, they kept putting it on auction, and I kept missing it. And I think I messaged Chris at one point because I ended up I put a bid in of £1 or whatever, and I put a bid in, and I'm adamant that this auction ended early because it literally within a few hours it had like ended and I'd won, but like literally it had only been relisted the day before, so I don't know how it happened. But if nobody's mentioned it by the end of the chat, I'll tell you where it's from.
Okay. Krillin saying the Yankees should not be united.
Aha, very funny. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Hope you're well and having a good Christmas and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Hey, Tori.
Hey, Tori. What's Catan say? Looking forward to the spin-off. The second season was better. I've watched reviews of... Yeah, I thought the second series was better. That's because there was only one timeline. For those of you that haven't seen The Witcher on Netflix, and I should really have my spoiler on there, the first series goes through 3 different timelines all at the same time, and it takes you about 3 or 4 episodes to realize that's what's happening. The second one isn't. It's like a continuous timeline, and it makes a lot more sense. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the second season. Right, before we go off the cuff, mate, let's jump into homework, shall we?
Okay, let's get out of the way.
Right, so this week's homework, we were set 2 films. One was Muriel's Wedding, that was set by Andrew, and the other one was Clerks, and that was set by Z. Now, Z did take about 10 minutes to decide on his film, and I think he changed his mind several times last week about what he wants to settle on until he's seen Clerks and in the list for 1994. I am going to hold my hand up here. I have pulled a little Steve, and I have not seen the first one. I never got round to watching Muriel's Wedding. It wasn't on any of the streaming sites, and I've just been too busy to try and get a copy of the DVD. However, I did watch Clerks. What about you, Steve?
No, I've watched the Clerks. I've seen Muriel's Wedding a while ago, so I've not got round to it again. So I said to you, we'll have to hold off on that one. I think this week's been a bit different because obviously there's been a lot of movies on TV and stuff. So and Christmas sort of went a bit quick. So I think, hey Sharon, hope you're well. I think it's probably best just to hold that one off a little bit, and we'll talk about Clerks. Actually, for fuck's sake, Steve, get the sign up. Lol. What's the on about?
The spoilers.
Oh, right, yeah.
I haven't ruined The Witcher. I've just, go and watch The Witcher. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Henry Cavill.
Sorry, Ashley, I didn't even realise I would have muted him.
Henry Cavill is brilliant as The Witcher, and that's got an awesome cast. But go and watch it. The second series is on Netflix now. It came out last week, and it's absolutely awesome. Or the week before.
Bobby, I got this hat off our friend Crookie and the Haydens. I think I tricked him into giving it me because we helped out. What's that?
Was that the one that you begged for when we went?
Yeah, basically, I guilt tripped him into giving me this hat, but then we did we did work for it, didn't we? So.
Well, yeah, guys, you didn't see why you made Chris go and do that. We just spent all evening moving these boxes into the garage, and then Steve says to him when we've sat down and I'd say, "Can you go and get that box of caps out? I like to go and have a look at it." And obviously, we didn't know which box they were in.
I weren't there and then, was it? It was next day you went and fetched it. I didn't have to go there and then.
So poor Chris had to go rooting through all his stock to find this box of caps. For
I think we did all right out of it in the end. So let's not worry too much.
Anyway, we've gone off on a tangent. So let's talk Clerks then, because you've obviously not seen Muriel's Wedding the same as me. So at least
I watched Muriel's Wedding. I watched it years ago, mate.
No, I haven't, and I've never seen it, so I can't get involved in the conversation on that. So Clerks was Kevin Smith's first movie.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed it. And Evening Rich, and I did find some interesting facts out about the film, but we'll talk about them in a minute. What was your view of the film, mate? Was there any good points, bad points? What did you take from it?
Well, like you said, I think we spoke about it privately, but I just find it's a funny movie. I mean, the thing with it being about retail, you know, I mean, I've worked in retail. I've worked in retail for years, so when it's a movie like that, I can sort of relate a lot of the time. But it's just, I mean, it had to be good on the budget and everything. It had to be good to be the success that it was. But I just find it a funny movie. It's an easy watch for me.
It's the little bits where he's talking about life in the video shop, where Randall's talking life in the video shop, and he's going that when the customers come in, have you got any new movies? And there's a big sign that says new movies here. And how much is this? And there's a big sign that says everything 99 cents, you know, and stuff like that. And then obviously Dante is working in a convenience store, and you know, he got called in off his day off, so he didn't want to be there in the first place. So that just made me giggle because, like I say, I've worked in like pubs and stuff like that. So when you're getting called in off your day off, and then you get like a dickhead customer, you know, then it's just like you're not actually meant to be there, are you? And that's what he kept saying throughout the whole film, wasn't it? I'm not even meant to be in today.
Yeah, he didn't want to eat that, did he?
But no, it is really, really good. And like I say, when you realise that, like the conversations they were having, like the bit about the Death Star and Return of the Jedi, when they're talking about the Death Star being built by contractors and they're all innocent lives lost to the rebels. Yeah. There were actual conversations that Kevin Smith would have with his mates when you look at all the special features and stuff. And that's what he was saying. All those little off conversations that they were having is stuff that he would have said to his work colleagues at the time. And like say, Randall's just got no filter. He just doesn't care, does he? He's just like, yeah, whatever. I'm just here to make money, and I'm not here to serve customers. Like, and he just shuts the shop. But yeah, I did enjoy it.
It's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, and like say, when you're looking at the special features and you do your research on it, the film was done on a $27,000 budget. Yeah. You know, he maxed out
credit cards
and took loans out to get it. But one of the things I didn't realise was that Kevin Smith actually worked in that store, and then they filmed it after the store was closed, or they filmed it when the store was shut. But it was really it was just good fun. But it was the basis for everything else, wasn't it? Because there was a lot of those jokes and Clerks that ran through, like Chasing Amy and Mallrats and Jane Silent Bob, and then they referred back to them in Clerks too, and a couple of the others, and it was just brilliant the way that they brought it all together. So I watched Love Hard the other day.
That's the Leslie Nielsen one. Isn't it? That's Love Hard. I'm sure that's the Leslie Nielsen one. It's like a rip-off, like Mickey take, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is that Spy Hard? No, it's Spy Hard, isn't it? Love Hard. What's that? Oh no, that's different. Yeah. I was thinking of Spy Hard then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's that Christmas movie.
No, I don't know.
It's on the Netflix. 2021.
Oh, we'll have to get watching it.
Yeah.
I'll get Lana to put it on the watch list.
Catan says he watched Flight of the Navigator and Short Circuit 1 the other day. Or yesterday. The other half had never seen them. Shocking. Watched all 3 in between his seasons. I love them. I really do. Really, really great.
What did I see on Netflix the other day? It's the end of 2021 or something.
Yeah. Well, there was one last year at the end of 2020.
Is it?
It's a spoof, basically.
It looks quite funny.
Yeah, there's basically a spoof of actors on it that are sort of explaining what happened during the year.
Yeah, based on the trailer. Like, is it Hugh?
Hugh? No, Hugh. Jesus.
Is it Hugh Grant?
No, it's not Hugh Grant, is it? Or is it? No. End of 2021. Yeah, it's got to be. But there's I was watching it. There's one bit. There's a scientist guy in it And he's trying to explain all the different variants, and the people that are interviewing him are putting dramatic music on in the background, and he's there trying to explain it, and he's like, well, what's that? And he's like, oh, it's for effect. Like, no, turn it off, it's serious. So then they start putting another one on. It's brilliant.
No, the trailer looks quite funny. Queenie saying last year's was quite funny. Not watched 2021 yet. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch 2021 later on or tomorrow, because, like I say, it just looks brilliant. Right, so I take it we've done the homework. Let's jump into this, shall we? Right, so for the last couple of weeks, we haven't actually had a year to review because it's obviously been the build-ups of Christmas and everything else. So last week we spun the wheel and we got 1994. And as the title of the show states, that was a blockbuster year for film. And
100%.
I'm not going to lie, I've struggled to get a top 5 out of this. I've got a top 5 list, but then I've also got about 5 or 6 that could have made it on there as well. And
I knew it. I knew the second we started looking at it, it was like, there's no way he's getting a top 5 out of that.
No, I almost did a U and just bit the bullet and went, you know what, sod it, I'm going to do a top 10.
Here's 15.
yeah, but I've resisted and I have got my top 5. The highest grossing actor list sort of surprised me. Who was number 1? So, do you want to take your guess? I've got top 4 highest grossing actors of 1994.
Okay. I don't think it was Keanu because I think he was starting off. He wasn't as big at that point, I don't think. Jim Carrey, maybe?
No.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is number 2. Yeah. No, Bobby Will Smith's not on there. Tom Hardy's not on there.
No, this is 1994. Do you know what? I'm not even going to try and guess it because there was so many. Van Damme.
No.
Not Van Damme. Sorry, what? Yeah, Van Damme. No.
Yeah. So Sylvester Stallone was number 4. Lainey's boyfriend was number 3. Tom Cruise.
Oh right, yeah.
Tom Hanks was number
Jason
2.
Momoa, Lainey's boyfriend.
Yeah, Jason Momoa was probably only about 6 in 94, wasn't it?
That's true, yeah.
Tom Hanks was number 2, and Wesley Snipes was number 1.
Ooh, trying to think what that would have been for, to be honest.
Well, that could have been because he did do a lot of films in that time, didn't he? From like
Drop Zone and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was like Money Train and all that lot. Was that all
Passenger
that?
57 and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
There wasn't a film that he wasn't in around about that time, was there?
Demolition Man, as Richard put.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Top 4 highest grossing movies of 1994.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that probably is going to be The Mask or Mask.
No.
Shawshank.
No,
because then that went in and then it built momentum. Forrest Gump.
Yeah, Forrest Gump was number 2.
What would have been number 1?
That does look good. That Katana's the Wesley Snipes Heart True Story. That looks good.
What about Pulp Fiction? As Queenie said.
No, Pulp Fiction's not in the highest grossing. This list surprised me. It did surprise me. 94 was a good year for film, and then when you look at this list, but I think number 1 will just be for one particular scene that stars Jamie Lee Curtis in the bedroom.
True Lies.
True Lies was number 1.
Wow.
So it was worth it just for the Jamie Lee Curtis.
Hey, Dave Reels. Thanks for joining us, guys. But I appreciate that.
Forrest Gump was number 2. The Flintstones was number 3.
Yeah, that was a big summer movie, that wasn't it?
Yeah, and Dumb and Dumber was number 4.
Yeah, again, another big release.
Mm-hmm.
Lion King, yeah. That was another thing.
So again, the best movie of '94. So I've jumped to '95, so we can get the '94 films because I know little Steve bitches about that. I don't do that.
Well, you're checking it, and it's from '93.
Yeah, but still, the best movie of '94. He
No,
still gets
it's not.
awards
It's
in
the best movie
'94.
in '93.
No,
It's just awarded in '94.
you're just being a bitch and being awkward. Get
You
over
don't know shit.
it. So this is the film from '95 that would have been for '94.
Best movie? Forrest
Yeah.
Gump, all day long.
Yeah, Robert Zemerick. Is it Zemerick?
That literally won so many awards, I think.
Yeah,
in that
well,
one.
he got best director for it anyway.
Hmm.
Do you want to start your top 5? Let's see.
Yeah, I'll get my small top 5 out of the way first.
Okay.
So what I said to you earlier, what I've done is I've gone with stuff that I enjoyed at the time, and a couple that are just classics. So I've got.
Can we just ask Bobby? He's got this thing about Braveheart. He's mentioned it a couple of times. Braveheart's an outstanding film, and I've put a video out about my. I watched it the other day, and I put a review out for Braveheart the other day.
I just got it.
And it's absolutely brilliant, mate. Unfortunately, it didn't make any of my lists that I've got here. But like I said, go back and watch me 5-minute review of Braveheart because it's absolutely outstanding. Sorry, mate. Sorry to be rude and interrupting your list. I just thought
you crack on, mate. Let me know when you're finished.
Yeah, I've finished. You know what?
Okay.
On mute and give you.
So I'm going to go with a couple. I'll go with the honourable mentions first. So the honourable mentions are Speed, Mask, Dumb and Dumber, Street Fighter, Pulp Fiction, and Lion King.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Pulp Fiction one is purely because around that sort of time I wasn't really into that, but I watched it obviously recently in years gone by and enjoyed it. Lion King, classic Disney film, definitely where I think it finished being as strong as it was with like Pocahontas and that next I think after that. But I've got my top 5. I've gone The Shadow at number 5. Okay. Now the reason for that is because I've got a bit of affinity with The Shadow because although it's not a great movie, I'd gone to watch The Flintstones because it was summer. I'd gone to watch The Flintstones with my cousin. And we came out and got asked if we wanted to go to a secret showing in the evening, and we didn't know what it was. Just that we could go to it, and then it turned out to be The Shadow, and that was a good few months before it came out. So that's why I put that in there because I have to. It's the only other time I've been to a secret showing. Number 4, I've got Terminal Velocity, which was Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen, sorry. Mm-hmm. Great movie. Number 3, I've got Above the Rim. So that was Tupac. It was a basketball movie. I was into basketball a lot of them days. I've got Forrest Gump in number 2, and my number 1 is Shawshank Redemption by a country mile. Those 2 movies I can watch at any point, but Shawshank Redemption is the strongest one out of a lot of them, I think, for me. But like you say, it was very, very difficult because there's so many good movies in that year.
Yeah, there is so many out there, and Shawshank is one that I can watch over and over and over again. And I made Lana watch it, and I can't remember. Did she make me turn it off, or did she just walk out the living room? But yeah, she couldn't get into it. She just didn't like it at all. So my top 5 is A Low Down Dirty Shame. That's an outstanding comedy film with one of the Wayne brothers in it.
I've never heard of that.
Have you not? Get yourself a copy of Low Down Dirty Shame. There's Will Smith's wife in it as well. What's it? Jaden Smith.
Jaden Smith, yeah.
She's in it. With it's the older Wayne's brother. But it's a really good film. They're good fun. I've gone with The Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
That's got to be on anyone's top 5 list, regardless if it's 1994 or not. The usual suspects. Interview with the Vampire, Forrest Gump, and then Stargate. You've got to have Stargate in there.
This is it, but again, it was one of those where we could have had the exact same list almost, apart from that one I've never heard of.
Yeah,
But
and then my mentions. I've got Time Cop, I've got Street Fighter, I've got Terminal Velocity, I've got Speed, Clear and Present Danger, Shawshank Redemption, and Natural Born Killers.
I remember renting. In fact, I didn't rent it. That Terminal Velocity. There was a little video shop around the corner from us, and I ended up buying a copy of it on VHS from them. So I always remember that because I enjoyed that movie so much. I literally went out and bought it when it came out, like with paper round money or whatever it was back in the day. But yeah, I'll always remember that.
What I found when I've been looking into that year, it's you could do a top 10 all-time greatest movies from that year. You know, there was just so many that was out that you could have picked up and recommend to people. It's like a video in itself, isn't it? That might be a good one for you, Steve, to do your first video on. 1994 top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I think vaguely between obviously Chris's channel when we did that on there. I think I remember them. There's a few years. I think it was one of them where it was sort of it was very difficult to pick that sort of stuff out because the 90s, and it just shows how strong the 90s were for movies. You know, I mean, there was so many good titles between, like, I don't even know, 91 to the end of 90s.
That would be 99.
Yeah, that's the one, isn't it? Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is that I don't think we'd have anywhere near as much problems with the 2000s because it was the quality was nowhere near as good as it was in 90s.
Why no? What
are you on about, Bobby? But yeah, it's such a strong decade for movies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Back end of the 80s and then the 90s, such a strong decade.
I think.
Sorry, Dave Resell says Time Cop. Yeah, that's a good movie, and Interview with a Vampire, another one. But again, you could have been there all day, literally just going through them all. I just went through ones that I've vaguely got like some sort of memory with, and then ones that I wanted to chuck on there.
Not one British movie.
I think they were strong with the 2000s.
Yeah, I think they came later on, didn't they?
Hey, Pat.
Obviously, in around that time, you would have had the Full Monty stuff, but that wasn't 94.
No, that was back end of it. That would have been back end of the 90s.
Was Notting Hill was 94, wasn't it? Was Notting Hill 94?
4 Weddings and a Funeral or something like that, wasn't it?
4 Weddings and a Funeral. So they were
97, Full Monty.
There were good films in that time, and they did really, really well, but they just didn't make my list. They'll probably make somebody's list. I'm just trying to see if no one's actually reached the list.
Queenie had said a little comment earlier on about she'd take Bobby to the City match on Boxing Day. Didn't know they pulled down Showcase Cinema at Bellevue. That was where I literally went like every weekend with my mate, or my cousin or whatever. So it was a big. That's when I really got into movies, was the 90s. So there's so many fond memories of literally a lot of these films. Like, let's say the Flintstones. If I hadn't seen the Flintstones, I would have never seen The Shadow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stuff like that. And you'd literally, I could spend all day there just watching movies. And that particular summer was massive for movies.
So what we'll do now then is that we'll run the wheel.
Okay.
Chrome tab, that one. Okay, so can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was so nearly 96, was that then?
Yeah.
1988.
1988.
See, that'll be another good one, I reckon.
Yeah. 1988. Yeah, that'll be another good year to have a look at. 88, late 80s. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head what would be in that year, but yeah. Okay, so Speed to me was a good film from that year, and I think it was definitely a breakthrough film for Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock.
He'd done movies before, Andy, because there was Point Break before that.
Yeah, Point Break was before that.
I think it was her breakout. It was definitely Sandra Bullock's, I think.
Yeah, but Speed to me is the one that, apart from Bill and Ted, Speed probably the other early one that I remember him doing. I like to say Street Fighter. I know Chris hated Street Fighter when he watched it, but to me it was a great an adaptation of a computer game. You know, it was obviously it doesn't hold up for now, does it? When you're watching it now, it's like watching the original Mortal Kombat movie. You know, but back then it was amazing seeing all your beloved characters come to the big screen. Yeah. But if you haven't seen Low Down Dirty Shame, go and watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a check on that one.
Yeah.
So we got Stu says Die Hard was 1988, the ultimate Christmas film. That had to be watched this year, so I did do that. David Resells for 94 got to have Clerks.
Yeah.
This is the irony of it, is the two that were picked was for that year, wasn't it? So we had
I think what happened last week was that we did the wheel, and then our two guests were on films from 1994 to see what was in the year.
Exactly.
And just pick the favourite films out of
that. Coming to America, best movie, says Bobby. Then he's changed. Has he changed his mind? Bloodsport, or has he just added another one? But they're all good movies. Bloodsport's a good one.
Now, Bloodsport's one about the Kumite, isn't it? Frank Dukes.
What's that?
Frank Dukes. I always get that one mixed up with Kickboxer.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, Kickboxer's another good one, isn't it? But I think that was a lot earlier on.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame when you look into Frank Dukes' story that half of it doesn't add up. Right, pickups of the week. Here we go. So, I'll go first, mate. I haven't got many, so I'll go first.
All right, then.
So he is selling these life-size alien face huggers, isn't he? You know, they're about 4 foot long.
It was you that bought one, did you?
No, I didn't buy one. I wanted one, but Lana's shit scared of him, so she won't let me get one because I want to put it over the bedroom door. Do you know, so it hangs over. So she did buy me one for Christmas. I got a little.
That shit's scary. Hey, Kathy.
I got a little Loot Crate smiley face hugger. Yeah.
That is terrible. That is so bad.
And she did try and get me a cinema gift voucher so we can go to the pictures to go and watch something. But the cinema ran out of gift vouchers. How can you run out of gift vouchers for Christmas? So she did make me one.
Oh, that's cool.
So it says, "Dear husband of mine, I owe you a trip to the movies. View ran out of gift cards. Love you." So yeah,
try and spend that.
So, as you know, I bought a couple of Warhammer figures over the time. So I'm trying to get into painting them. So I bought the big one off C, didn't I? That you paint yourself. So this is the big one that I'm painting, and I'm for to play with color schemes.
Oh, look at you! That's proper cool.
Yeah, so that he's just silver and black at the moment. He was black and yellow this morning. So I've painted him because I didn't like the colour scheme I was going for, so I've started again. So I'm using the big one so we can get the colour scheme right before I start painting the little ones, because they'll be a pain to correct.
Yeah.
But because I've got that one and I've got the Blood Angel as well, Lana bought me the Necron for Christmas.
Oh, that's cool.
So I need to find somewhere. So last week I was saying I'm running out of space for my collection, and Lana said, "Well, you're going to have to get rid of stuff." And I said, "No, it's all right. I'll just buy more shelves." and she bought me that as well. So I've got another big one there that I've got to find space for. But don't let that put you off sending me anything in the post or anything like that. I will find space for them.
Oh, right, really?
Yeah, I will find. But yeah, Kathy saying that's the best face hugger ever. I was laughing when I saw it, but like I say, that big one and that Z's got would look amazing over the top of the bookcases.
No, that looks so much better. Your little friendly one.
Yeah,
that's
the little friendly one. So if you haven't seen my collection, I did put a short out earlier on this week of the collection, so you can catch it there, and you'll see what I mean about I'm running out of space and stuff. But I'm sure I can find some. So they were mine, mate. There wasn't much for me this week, to be honest. Like I say, it was more Christmassy stuff. So it was more pajamas and socks.
Yeah, I started going through some Christmas money. I think that's what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some Christmas presents. If Disney did facehuggers, that's true, Dave. Yeah, that's what that would be, wouldn't it?
That's the new Disney princess.
Yeah. So my Christmas presents off the wave. Yeah, to be fair, I got a Batwing posable lamp, which is pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, so apparently this is all for my new movie room, so looking forward to that one. I got the Jurassic Park light, which is pretty cool. So I'm happy with that. Now these, I think, were sort of, she was trying to tell me something really, because what she said to me is when we do move house, when we finally move in, she wants to get a new telly. Now there's nothing wrong with my TV, and I don't particularly like wasting money too much, especially when I can spend it on something else. But I've got a 3D HD 3D TV, and the reason I've kept it is because the majority of my MCU stuff and my DC stuff are all 3D. So the 3D discs in there as well. But anyway,
I've got a 3D TV, and I've only ever watched 2 films on it, and one of them was Titanic.
Yep, and mine was, I think my first one was Avengers. But so she's gone out, and there's 2 movies I wanted, which was the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Noticed that at the top. Then she bought me Jungle Cruise.
Waste of money.
I enjoyed the movie, and she bought me the Shang-Chi I was after.
Another waste of money.
But they do have the Blu-rays in there anyway. But I think she's trying to tell me something, that she wants a new telly with a 4K player.
Well, just think, because you've seen I've got a 32-inch in my room that I'm in now, and I keep saying to Lana I need a bigger telly, but then
I think the one downstairs is 47.
Yeah,
which is still relatively big. And then I got a few bits. I picked up a few bits. So straight after the show last week, I'd popped to Asda and picked up No Time to Die to go with my collection, which is behind here. So I've got my James Bonds there, my Spectre in the collection. So that's going to go with them. So, that's not going to stand. Hold a sec. And then I went out and got a few bits. So I picked up the second Fantastic Beasts, because I didn't have it for some reason. The Watchmen series. Which I started getting into that, and then I stopped after a few episodes, so I'm hoping to try again. My Bloody Valentine 3D. Picked up that. A couple of quid. The Big Blue Director's Cut. This actually looks really quite good, this. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
And then there was a couple that I picked up. I'd ordered this one last week, but it hadn't turned up in time, which is Knock Knock.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week, weren't we?
Yeah. And then I got Candyman. So I'm going to give that one a watch.
Mm-hmm.
This one I needed, so it's the new one that I went into Asda yesterday, and it had gone down to a tenner, so I picked it up. It goes with my other ones that I've got. I'm just missing number 2 now on Blu-ray. I've got it on DVD, but I've got the others on Blu-ray. So I can now put that with that, and that is going to be the collection of them, which I like them films. So I'm looking forward to the one with Vinnie Jones in.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, again, I ordered it last week from CEX. It's finally turned up.
The Craze.
The Craze. Lovely edition with a load of postcards in it, and really nice, really nice. But this is the one where I said to you, I'd been keeping an eye on it on Amazon because it came out about 25 quid. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it sold out, it completely gone on Amazon because it was limited edition. I checked on eBay and they were going for 50 quid. Anyway, when I checked CEX, it was £15. So I ordered it off there and thought, well, I'll take a chance because you never know. I could get it and it could be absolutely battered, or it could just be the DVD, the Blu-ray, or the case missing or whatever. But this is immaculate, so I'm really chuffed with that. But it's a great movie if you haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm. I was just laughing at Queenie, the zombie Captain America figure, Venom Lego head, zombie Thor pop figure. That was Charlie's presents picked up. She's helped him spend the money. Those zombie pop figures is just because Funko have run out of ideas of what figures to make, so they're just making.
Oh, aren't they just? That's definitely
making everybody a zombie or making everybody a robot. There was a robot Captain America that looked like a Transformer the other day, and you could have swore it was Optimus.
Nah. But I didn't do too badly over Christmas. Obviously, she bought me that previously as well, so that was for Christmas. And then obviously my jumper. That I'd ordered on eBay that finally turned up.
Right, just for the guys that are joining late, thank you. Hey Shabba, Rich is in.
Hey Shabba.
Steve's asked a question at the start of the show. If you could guess what film his jumper's from. Thank you, Lana.
I'd love to know if somebody else, because I can't be the only one that likes this movie. I really can't. But so it said on the description it had been ordered from Amazon in America, and then obviously they'd had it. It wasn't the right size for them, so they were selling it on.
So if you guess the film, you get the jumper. That's what we're going.
No.
Yeah,
you chose that jumper, Ollie. Well, this is from a movie. It's not a fucking. This is not a giveaway. I'm not giving this away. Even Lou doesn't like it, so I'm wearing it the more now.
Right, let's jump into the free-for-all, shall we?
Yeah.
So, there we go.
Yeah, you had to out-trump me.
You'd never get a quick change like that on any other show, would you? So, people say to me all the time, I'm a big spoiler. I spoiled one of Chris's Christmas presents when we were moving house, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Spoiler alert.
So Lana spent all weekend calling me spoiler alert, and obviously you guys call me spoiler alert. So there you go.
Yeah, you definitely did. I remember now.
So we were talking Matrix last week, and I was a bit cagey about it because you guys haven't seen it yet. So you've watched it now, haven't you?
Yes.
So I take it quite a lot of the chat would have watched it as well by now.
I hope so, because this is going to get spoiler alerted.
Yeah. So last week I was sort of commented I was being a bit harsh on the film. Was I? Now you've seen it.
Oh, yes, mate, absolutely. It was amazing. Best thing I've ever seen. I don't know what you're on about. No, it's not Boys in the Hood. It's definitely not. If you can find out, I'd be amazed. I rang you up, right, and I was like, I've watched it, I've seen it, and I think what you basically said was something along the lines of that it never really got going, and you were sort of waiting for it. I think that was one of the premises you'd said. One of the things you'd said.
The first hour was really, really slow.
Yes.
And the last 40 minutes could have been shortened by about half an hour.
The thing is, I got out of it and I was like, you know what, it weren't that bad. And then the more and more I sort of thought about it, the more angry I got with it, because it's what it's ended up being for me is it's like a lot of the movies that have been out recently, a lot of these spin-offs or remakes or sort of sequels in it. That's the right word. Disney's pants. Fuck off you. Let's hope United get beat tonight. Anyway, but it's I said to you on the phone. For me, it was definitely a cash grab. It was definitely a cash grab, no doubt about it. The marketing, they put more effort into the marketing than they did into the movie. For me, they were literally like ramming it down the necks. I mean, it's up there with Get Your Booster. It really was so much stuff that you know, and then the trailers. Some of the trailers is some of the best bits. But what you said about the characters being like, it's almost like they're expecting the audience to be dumb, so they're going, this character is actually this one, and this character is actually this one, and sort of showing flashbacks and making it out like if they didn't tell you that this guy was Morpheus, that you wouldn't guess that his best impression of Morpheus was that he was Morpheus. You know what I mean? And where they've switched out the characters, they basically gone, look, this is who it's supposed to be. And
I would have enjoyed trying to work out that Morpheus was Morpheus. I would have enjoyed working out that his boss was actually Agent Smith. You know, and I would have enjoyed trying to work all of that out without the.
Hey, Cherry.
I would have enjoyed trying to work that out without the little snippets, and I don't like what they did with Smith at all.
Hey, Sharon.
You know, if you're going to leave him out, leave him out. If you're going to include and bring back Hugo Weaver, but don't bring him back as a new actor in there. Oh, this is now him. You know, yeah. and that's that. I can understand the Morpheus bit because it is 60 years on from the end of Matrix 3, so Morpheus is probably dead in Zion well before this film timeline anyway. Yeah. So I could understand what they did there, but the rest of it, even the new characters, they didn't really introduce the new characters well at all. They just sort of threw them in and go, here's your crew of your new ship, and off you go.
Yeah, but this is the thing: is that I'd said to you, it's not probably the right way to describe it. But what I was waiting for was sort of Neo to get in sort of, I don't know, fifth gear. Do you know what I mean? Or even anything remotely out of second gear when it comes to like his abilities and stuff. And it never happened. It just never happened. It was literally like, oh yeah, I still know Kung Fu. And, you know, I was just waiting for that moment where all of a sudden it's like...
It happens for about 5 minutes in that final fight scene where he's on the back of the bike.
Yeah, but even so, mate. It was...
That's more to do with the fact he's paired up with Trinity again.
Yeah.
And they explain that in the film, that you can't have one without having the other.
But the best character in that movie was him out of How I Met Your Mother.
Neil Patrick Harris, is it? Or Neil?
The best, by far, the best character in that movie was him. You know, he was
the analyst or whatever he was called.
The analyst, I think that's what they called him. Yeah, but he carried the scenes that he was in. I think for me,
it looks like a poor man's remake. No, it wasn't even a remake, Kath. That's the bit that gets me. If it was a remake or reboot, brilliant. That's fine. Don't bring any of the original characters back or refer to them, but have a whole new story.
Yeah.
If it was a continuation of the story, brilliant. Make it a continuation of the story. But it was both. It didn't know if it was a remake or reboot, but it also didn't know if it was a continuation of the story because it doesn't make sense.
Well, they made him out to be this game developer that has made this successful game franchise based on what essentially he lived through, without knowing that he actually lived through it. You know, and it was almost like I felt as an audience, I felt like they were taking the piss. I felt like it was literally a case of, well, what we're going to do is we're going to make you look like an idiot.
It was more like, you haven't seen us for 18 years. How do we get our name back out of it? Or where we go, here's a lot of cutscenes and flashbacks.
Yeah.
You know, the bit where he goes, where he's in the warehouse and he goes, oh, we found some old programs that want to come say hello. You didn't need to go back to tell me it was the Frenchman from Matrix 3.
Yeah,
because you knew who he was by looking at him. You can see. You
could tell a mile off, and his accent was there.
Yeah,
but they literally dumbed down everything so that you could understand it. Basically,
I would have been, wow, that's him. And I understand that you've got a whole new audience coming to the Matrix franchise that probably haven't seen the Matrix trilogy to start off with. So those cutback scenes and the flashbacks wouldn't have helped them anyway if you hadn't seen the trilogy. But I don't think they were needed. Nothing was that complicated in the film to say, I need a flashback here to remind me of that.
The thing is, Ashley's put on there, I saw the trailer in cinemas and it was enough for me. Nice effects. The effects with some old characters, this is the thing about the effects is, yes, they took it up a notch. So they literally went, look what we can do these days. And by far, it's some of the best effects, right? But they took bullet time and literally made it into a joke. They made it into a fact of, we're going to make you realise that, you know, these games were so successful and he created bullet time and all this sort of stuff. But, like, there was no need for it. There was literally no need for it. If you watch any programmer from about that time, they will go on about how the Matrix changed the industry, especially with bullet time, because then afterwards there was an enormous amount of movies that were using it as, you know, like if you look at Shrek as something as an example, you know, that sort of thing. But the director and the way that they've done this, they've literally made it into a joke and just gone, but look at what we can do now. Do you know what I mean?
Kathy's saying here is that she felt like they couldn't be bothered with a script and a dodgy photocopy and just mixed all the pages up. There was elements of that, you know, especially when Neo comes out of the Matrix and he's back on the ship and they're talking to him and he's like, oh, you're the one and all of this lot. And then they go to Io. It's not Zion anymore. It's Io, isn't it? It's the new underground city. And then he comes up against what's her name now? The captain from the third film.
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, I knew you were there. I just didn't want to rescue you. I couldn't be bothered with you because we've got a nice peaceful atmosphere here and you're going to ruin it. And it's like, right, okay, well, I'll back off to the Matrix and I'll get plugged back in and I'll forget you all exist. Yeah. You know, if I'm not born,
you know what I'd be interested to know, right, is the way that they're going. Once I drop a pen, the way that they're going with these movies, and it's not a one-off. This is a common trend with a lot of these sequels, right? The way that they're going with them. If we've got an audience of, say, someone that's, I don't know, 16, 18, 20 these days, are they watching these movies and going, these are amazing? Or are they watching the movies and having the same opinion as someone that sort of was there when the originals were released?
So I've mentioned a few times about these sequels that happened 20, 30 years after the original release. Coming to America 2, Dumb and Dumber, you've got Bad Boys for Life, you've got Top Gun that's not out yet, but it will be, you know. And
Looking at another Indiana Jones as well, apparently.
Yeah, but is there a need for them? Because no one's asked for a Matrix 4.
No.
Because it was done and dusted. Everybody, after 5-10 years, everybody understood the ending of Matrix 3. You know, it was done. The story was done. There was no need to go back and give me a mediocre story because it's just ruined the original trilogy for me. I know Z said he didn't like the second and third one. He would have stopped it at the end of Matrix 1.
Yeah, definitely.
To me, the trilogy was a complete story. It's like Bad Boys. I don't think there was a requirement for Bad Boys for Life.
Now, I will argue with this. The only one out of them, and possibly something like Creed, that I would argue that they did bring something to that franchise because I enjoyed Bad Boys for Life. Right? I know there's one scene in there. There's one scene. There's a scene or two in there that you're not massive fan of. But what I'm saying is that if you look at them compared to some of the others that have come out, that's an Oscar-winning movie.
But
because some of them are crime.
You take Creed and you take Matrix. Yeah?
Yeah. Creed
brought back a beloved character from a previous franchise.
Yeah.
Right?
Bye, Shabba. Thank you for coming, mate.
Shabba. They took a previous character from a previous franchise, a beloved one, brought them into a new story with a new character focused on, and then started again. Matrix brought characters back. One particular character that we saw die, brought her back, and then give us a mediocre story that didn't know if it was a reboot or remake. And I know Creed's not necessarily a reboot of Rocky because it isn't. It's a continuation to Rocky himself for about 20 minutes in the first film, but then it focuses all on Creed after that, and Rocky's just there for the ride.
See you later, Shabba. Have a good New Year, by the way. Yeah, the thing is, though, like I said, do you know what it is? I think I'm getting annoyed with getting excited about these movies coming out. Like, sort of getting the build-up of these movies coming out and then being absolute tripe. And literally, hey, Lainey, and I'm so annoyed that we can go all day about how there's not anything original coming out now. There really isn't much. But I've not yet seen one that I've gone, you know what, that has made that made that franchise so much better.
Yeah.
They just keep turning them out.
I like Bad Boys for Life. But no, I do. I like Bad Boys for Life. I don't think it was a requirement for it. No. And I don't think it furthered the story apart from the fact that they're old. I think if you had a Bad Boy spin-off, of that new set of cops, but then had Will Smith and Martin Lawrence pass the torch over to them in the first 20 minutes and do what Creed did, have them there, but not focus too much on them, and then took that as a new LA or they're in Florida. Are they in Florida, are they? They're in
Something
Florida.
Along the lines, yeah.
So have that reboot stroke thing go off with them. And just just drop the Bad Boys.
The thing is that for me, I mean, like I said about the 90s, for me, those characters are what I would say are beloved characters. Yeah, maybe Kathy, but they're beloved characters, and I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. I mean, like the Ghostbusters, we knew that they weren't going to all be back in it. They weren't, because obviously one had passed away, bless him. But the thing is that when these characters, you want to see these characters back, and it's fantastic. But they make such a meal of it. I mean, you talk about even Bill and Ted, that was bad. I mean, it weren't unwatchable, but it was bad. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sick of getting to a point where I'm going, you know what, I'm really looking forward to this. Then how can they got The Matrix? It was the two sequels were tripe. How could it get any worse? And they've managed it. They've managed it. But Ghostbusters, Sharon saying there, Ghostbusters, they've messed it up once already. So why do it again? Unless they want to prove a point. It's not exactly amazing.
I had high hopes for Ghostbusters with him being his son and being on site for the original film of the original, getting that feeling for what it was. And I was just like, yeah, if you're going to reboot it, again, reboot it. If you're going to continue the story, continue the story. But it didn't know what it wanted to do.
No. And all they're interested in is it's like a tick list, isn't it?
It didn't. It's like say we go back to the Matrix. It didn't know what it wanted to do with the series. If it was a nostalgia pick, brilliant. The trailer gave us all of that. Didn't we know it was going to be nostalgia overload for the people that liked the trilogy? Ghostbusters was the same. You've got Ecto 1, you've got the ghosts getting released, and you've got the dog from the first one.
Well, they made such a pig's ear of the third one, essentially. That remake was one of the worst movies made. I suppose if you look at it, anyone with a decent script, it's going to be better than that. But and all I'm saying is that I'm sick of seeing these characters. It's like they'll get one actor and go, right, okay, what we're going to do? We're going to remake. We're going to add a reboot to every single franchise you've been successful in.
Yeah. Laney, if you'd like the first Coming to America, you'd like Coming to America 2. It's the same comedy style for Coming to America. It's a direct follower. Obviously, it's about his son, and his son basically goes on the same journey as he does. But it is a remake of the first film, but Eddie Murphy's now the dad, and he's now chasing the son around. So it's like roles reversed. So
and that's some father as Pappy's put there.
Yeah, if you like the first one, it's the same shit style comedy. The second one. Sharon's
in with the passionate opinions again. What? No, Steve. No, it's crap.
Yeah, but again,
thank you.
It's my opinion, and I've started saying that on the reviews. This is just my opinion, and my opinion doesn't count for Jack, really.
Not at the minute, they don't. When we're big and famous.
Yeah, but it is that particular case that Sharon doesn't seem to agree. Yeah, but I don't like Trading Places anymore. I used to love Trading Places. I couldn't get into Trading Places when I watched it a couple of weeks ago. I
still enjoy that. But like I say, I mean, it's just frustrating because they're not coming up with anything new, and what they are regurgitating is it's not even, it's subpar, in it, really, And I get excited about these things. And you think I love Harry Potter for what it's worth.
Lainey was watching Goblet of Fire before. She put it on Facebook, watching Goblet of Fire, and I commented, with all the great movies out, why you're watching Harry Potter. And it's not it's not the fact that I agree, enjoy the films. It's not a series that I'd go to and put on if I had to spare 2 hours of my of life to watch. It's Harry Potter. However, the new trailer for Fantastic Beasts 3 looks really good. I haven't seen the other 2. But it does.
Well, I hadn't got round to watching the second one. Like I say, I sort of sat there, and I think it was only a couple of quid from CEX. I thought, I don't even know if I picked it up. I might actually have it somewhere, but I picked it up anyway.
Sorry, Sharon. I'll hide. I'll go. Do you want me to put Steve on?
Yeah, sorry, Sharon. I can't speak for him. Unfortunately, he's got his own mind. Lainey, I'm not sure if I've shown you this, but I will do while I'm on big screen, actually. One of my pickups from a charity shop one day. You might appreciate it. So that's my jacket they were giving out to cast and crew. But I very much paid up for it in a charity shop. But I love that. The original Harry Potter movie.
Yeah, that looks really good, that, Steve.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm just trying to keep it safe. I don't know if I'm going to wear it anywhere unless I will go to sort of the Harry Potter studios or something.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Bobby. Is the movie remakes are like when European footballers come to the MLS for one last payday. Yeah, it.
It's basically what it is. I mean, but the other thing as well. No, come back, Big Steve. I don't need Star. I don't need Star. Oh, okay. The it's just some of them are looking to kick off another sequel, another trilogy, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if this went absolutely crazy, they'd be doing another 2 movies of the Matrix.
I think they still will do another 2 movies.
Yeah, probably.
I think what they'll do is that they'll go back to, right, we now know that Neo with Trinity are back. We now know that Trinity is the one that's got the powers and not Neo. Yeah. So we can play on that. Sorry, for those that haven't seen it, but you will see it and you will understand it because they do explain that strange things happen when they are together. And that's it. Now Trinity's got powers like Neo has.
Well, that was the other thing that ticked you off a little bit, wasn't it?
But yeah.
Well, we'll call this section "Grind My Gears."
Yeah, the remakes make them take the kids to the cinema. Yeah, but if
Happy New Year, Ashley. Take care. Thank you.
If they haven't seen the originals, then do they know what they're going to watch? That's the thing. Or are they making these? Catch you later, Ashley. Sorry. Are they seeing that as we're bringing Ghostbusters back? Remake the first one. Forget the first 2 exist. That 2016 one's already out the back of my head. That doesn't exist anyway. But forget the first 2 exist and give me a whole new story about how these kids become Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be too bad. But I mean,
show me 30 years down the line a new group of people making technology to go. We used to have Ghostbusters. This the latest technology. Show me how you get there. Become Ghostbusters. Don't bring back old Ghostbusters. Remake the whole thing.
Yeah. And that's something you could get behind, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that. I mean, Home Sweet Home Alone, isn't it? That absolutely tanked.
Mm.
You know, and watching the originals over Christmas, I'm like, I don't even know why they bothered. Oh, I'm going to say it was this. I watched Venom 2 the other day, rewatched the Tom Howard Spider-Man, and I was meant to go to the pictures today. So, oh, bless you, but to wait until a year now. Yeah.
What did you think of Venom 2?
What did you think, Lainey? Be interested to find out.
Mm-hmm. Because they're talking about making Spider-Man 3, aren't they? Andrew Griffin Spider-Man with Venom, but not Tom Hardy's Venom.
I don't. Well, yeah, maybe. Today's kids love Iron Maiden t-shirts and have no idea about them, or exactly. They're just fashion stuff. Kathy, I agree with you on that one. Sharon says, "Can you remake a classic though and make it good?" I think the thing is that there's a lot of movies that came out, especially like the 80s, that were remakes, and they were good, but they've been remade from movies that were made in the 60s and 70s. There's quite a few out there, but I think that there is a way to do it. It's just like as an example, like Home Sweet Home as an example, Home Sweet Home Alone. They tried to get sympathy. They were trying to make you sympathise with the people that were robbing the house, essentially. And it's just like, no, you're meant to be rooting for the kid, but actually that kid was so bad that you were rooting for them more than anything. But I do think there's a way of doing it. It's just what they're doing is, I don't know. It just doesn't work for me.
Remaking a classic. I used an example last week of Rollerball. Now, I love the original Rollerball James Caan movie. I love that film. The remake, was it early 2000s? Late 2000,
Yeah.
late noughties.
Yeah.
They remade it and they're trying to bring it into modern day. I think they use rollerblades instead of roller skates and stuff like that. And they just ruined the whole idea of this. It wasn't to do with the sport at all, where the original one was to do with the sport.
Yeah.
And one man getting too big for the game, and they tried to kill him off. If they were to remake that again now, I think, and took the original plot from the original film and modernized it with the set and everything else, I think that could be a really big hit, because it's that type of stuff that I want. I don't want a remake on a basis of something. I want to see it either continued or rebooted, but not just take it and kiddie-eyes it and go, right, here we go. Not everyone is at that point where they need everything played into you.
I've just sort of Googled popular remakes, right? The Departed, King Kong, The Magnificent Seven, A Star is Born, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Cape Fear, Ocean's 11, The Ring. Total Recall wasn't as good as the original. True Grit, Dawn of the Dead, Fright Night, The Fly, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels was a remake. That's interesting. Scarface, Halloween. That was a Rob Zombie, I think, that one. But there's loads. There's literally loads. The Mummy was a remake.
You say there A Star is Born is a remake. It was a remake of a remake of a remake of a remake, wasn't it? Hasn't it been done about 6-7 times?
Little Shop of Horrors was a remake, and that's a classic.
Yeah, Little Shop of Horrors, yeah. But that they took that Little Shop of Horrors, the Jack Nicholson Little Shop of Horrors, the black and white one, made it into a musical, and then completely changed it. Now, I prefer... I've got this pure hatred of musicals, but Little Shop of Horrors is a musical I could watch time and time again. But I hate musicals with a passion. But it was quite well done.
But I think at the minute we're in sort of an era where, it's remakes and reboots or superhero. I think that's where we're at the minute.
Yeah.
Because there's money in it. Whether we want it or not, that's what they're going to chuck down our throats until the money stops.
Yeah, what's Bobby saying here? Everything sucks. The bad guys are now good. Batman is bad because he tries to lock up mental patients. Yeah. Yeah, it's...
So be a dentist. But
even the dentist was bad in Little Shop of Horrors. Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Because he gets fed to Audrey too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, because it feed me.
Yeah.
I need a pop figure of Audrey too. To be fair, it's one of those I keep putting off, so I might actually have to get that. Just reminded me. The original Fly was brilliant. Yeah. Which one are you talking about, Sharon? You're not talking about the. We're talking about the Fly that was.
The original Fly. Jeff Goldblum remade the Fly in the 80s.
That was a remake. Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, and then the second one wasn't there. Has it been remade again since then? Total Recall. That was awful. The Colin Farrell one. Was it good? It is Colin Farrell in that, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, well, you can, for 35 quid, you can buy a baby 2, Audrey. I love you wanting a plant.
If you go to a garden centre, you could probably get a fly trap for £5. You could have your own Audrey too. That'd be something for Instagram, wouldn't it? Your own Audrey. Yeah. So looking back at the remakes, Total Recall wasn't as good. as Arnie's one. RoboCop had the idea and the basis of being really, really good, but it was just crap.
Yeah.
RoboCop.
Yeah, it was.
You know, and now they're talking about bringing back the Running Man, aren't they? Doing the Running Man again.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is that I think for me, if they chuck 10 out, there might be 2 of them that are actually decent. You know, if it's 10 movies that have either remakes or spin-offs or whatever else, there'll be a couple of them that are decent, but the percentage it really isn't worth getting invested in them.
No.
I think I'm going to have to start sort of waiting until people have watched them and then sort of get into it and see if it was any good. You know, sort of get excited about it after I'm seeing reviews that are saying it's great. I'm sick to death of looking at these trailers and going, that looks really good. That it's like this Batman. You know, I mean, I'm hoping it's good.
I'm hoping it's good. And to be honest, I haven't watched the Bat and the Cat trailer yet because when I did the Batman trailer breakdown a couple of months ago, that's on. If you go back to the back catalogue, you'll see it. I did say there I love the interaction between Batman and Catwoman. You know, Selena, when they're on the roof and stuff like that, with Selena Kyle. She's not wearing a mask or anything like that, and it's just clear as day who she is. But apparently the new trailer sort of goes down the route of where they're in love and stuff like that, which we did see Batman and Selena Kyle in different forms of the comics and stuff like that. They were together and stuff like that. And I think they had an affair in Batman Returns, didn't they? Were they close in Batman Returns?
Batman Returns, yes. And the one in
the Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight, yeah.
Yeah, the Dark Knight. They were, yeah.
Dark Knight Rises, wasn't it? Or was it Dark Knight?
Dark Knight, yeah. Because
Dark Knight Rises.
That was the whole the joke, wasn't it?
The thing is that the best Catwoman for me was obviously Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
By country mile, she's the best one by country mile for me.
But again, Halle Berry's Catwoman could have been something really, really special, but it wasn't. It was just how do we get Halle Berry in leather pants?
Yeah.
You know, and that was the whole film.
And the CGI was terrible.
Mm.
That was really bad in that movie.
Yeah, Catan, I'm hoping it does live up. But when you've got this as a standalone movie, because obviously they're talking about Michael Keaton coming back in Batwoman, Batgirl, sorry, and then you've got Ben Affleck talking about coming back for the DCEU. Then where does this Batman fit? You know, because at the moment you've got 3 running Batmen. The Batmen. Yeah, you know, you could have your own MCU version of Batman, couldn't you? Where you've got 3 different Batman.
Bobby showed his age a bit there. Yeah, I agree. Though she was good.
Yeah,
she was. She was good. Killing you are nasty.
Right, I've put the link in the chat, guys. We have our movie year of 1988. What we have not got is a homework movie. Now, we will be carrying over Muriel's Wedding because I will try and watch
time to review it.
Yeah, we're going to carry that across. So if you've got a movie that you've got in your mind that you want us to watch or you think it'll be good for the chat to watch and then we can review it, or if you just want to come on and have a general chit chat, we are at that part of the show where you can come on and you'll probably be doing the chat a favor instead of listening to me and Steve Rabbit on. So feel free to come on. The Netflix releases for this week. Now, I don't think I need to watch Cobra Kai because you did mention to me early on in the week that there is already several review shows out there of the new season of Cobra Kai, and I don't know how they've got it a week early. But
like I said, they must have some sort of screen or something.
yeah.
Hey, it's Bobby. Hey, there he is. Look at that.
Hey, what's
The
going
man,
on?
the myth, the legend.
How's it going, mate? You all right?
It's,
I just was cleaning this afternoon, and actually, I had another guy cleaning the gutters on the ladder, and I was helping him clean the gutters because I don't go on ladder. So, that's a whole other story. Anyway, that's why you're like, why I got wet hair or whatever. I just got a shower. There's a movie, Steve. Okay, and I guarantee you guys never seen it. Okay, it's from the '80s. It was. You know how we talk cult classic movie, and I know everybody loves this. It's very cliche. People say that, but there's a movie, and it's great. Some people may be it's not offensive. Okay. Some people in today's world might be offended, but it's not offensive at all. Okay. There's a movie called, because we talk about like remakes, but
I feel like he's
spin-off
working this up a bit here.
He has, yeah. What should be the Pink Panther?
No. The name of the movie is called The Last Dragon. Okay?
The Last
I know
Dragon.
you guys never seen it. Okay. And it plays off of, you guys like the Bruce Lee kind of old movies?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a play off of that a little bit, right? But he's black. Okay.
Yeah.
And the best part of the movie is he's living in New York City, right? This guy who's black. And actually, I have a picture of him too. I saw him at a Comic-Con, but anyway. But he talks in. You know those ancient like Chinese Confucius proverbs?
Mm.
Do you know like the like? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, like you when you guys eat Chinese food, don't you have those fortune cookies?
Yeah.
No, we don't tend to get fortune cookies, but go on.
Yeah,
you don't get fortune cookies.
You don't get them in Steve's neck of the woods, but we get them up here.
Yeah. Because all right. So, yes, okay. This is one of my favorite of all time. It's an '80s movie, and I know you guys love 1980s grit New York City, right? I know you like that backdrop, right? He would happen in the movie. But you understand what I'm saying? He speaks in that Confucius way. Like
I'm just reading the chat. There's a couple of people in the chat that are quoting lines from the film, so it's not that obscure.
Okay, all right. What I'm saying is like he speaks in like Confucius says and it's funny because he's black, and in the movie there's Chinese guys in the movie who speak in a stereotypical black vernacular, and it's just hilarious to see.
Dave Repairs seems to have found that on YouTube, and he's put the link into the chat by the looks of it. So it is on YouTube for us to find it.
Yeah, it is one of and what's great about it too. It's not obviously there's this so you can see in the picture. I know Steve, you saw the picture. There's a love story. He has to rescue the damsel in distress who's like a pop singer. Long story. I'm not gonna tell you the movie, but he has to rescue the damsel. And
there's a love story to this, is there?
It's not so much love story. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like the whole movie's it's not really big love story movie, but it does have obviously that aspect to it. But the best part is that '80s music and him doing the karate, the way he talks, and everybody because like. He lives in Harlem, not anymore. It was a traditionally black area, and he's walking around the street, and he's always talking like, you must not do, in that ancient Confucius says language, and the black guys are like, man, what the hell's the matter with you? Why? But the way it's done is just so good, and and it's funny because I met the guy. You guys have the Comic Cons. I'm sure you guys go to those Comic Cons, right?
Yeah, there's Comic-Cons,
So
yeah.
we have. Yeah, I mean they're not the real Comic. They're spin-offs of the Comic Cons. You know, I didn't go to the real one. The real one is there's one real Comic Con. It's in San Diego, California, and that's it. But anyway, like if you guys have seen The Big Bang Theory, you know,
Yeah.
it's a love. No, it's a love story, but it's not. There's karate in the movie, which is great, you know, and the guy who he fights, his villain, is beautiful, is great, is hilarious. You pee your pants when you see the guy. He's got this big afro and everything. Anyway,
We'll look
so oh, great. So anyway, but I met the guy. It was funny.
Stories, then, Sharon.
I'll tell you, you'll love this story because I met him at the same time when I met. You probably know. I mean, maybe you don't know Star Trek. There's a British actress. Her name is Marina Sirtis. Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know how. I know she was in Star Trek. I don't know how famous she became, but I know obviously
she's Diana Troy in Star Trek.
So, the same time when I met this guy, the guy who played in this actor who played in this karate movie from the 80s, I met her because at the Comic Con they have all different people from movies and wrestling and everything. So I had no idea who she was. I never watched I wasn't into Star Trek, right? Because it was just there's a million. They had the Power Rangers there. They had people from Mad Max.
Yeah.
Anyway, make the story short. I had my you know, when I used to watch a lot of soccer with my friends, you know, I had a friend from Germany. So, but we don't really see each other anymore. But we'd always go to a bar. So I had my Bayern Munich top on, right? So she calls me over to the side. She's like, "Oh, you're a soccer fan, or football fan, whatever it was." I'm like, "Yeah, you know, we go watch some games, go to the bar, whatever it is." So she says, "This is a good part." So she says, "Oh, you want to guess what team I'm a fan of?" And of course, you know, she's British, so I says, "I don't know, United, Arsenal, you know, whatever." I just start naming Chelsea, whatever. So she's like, she turns around, she says, "Pull my shirt down." And I'm starting to sweat over here. I'm like, pull my shirt down. I'm like, okay. I mean, she's telling me to do it. So I from the back, she turns around. I pull her shirt down. She's got a big tattoo. You know the Tottenham Hotspur?
No, the bird. Yeah, the bird.
Yeah, the bird. She has that bird tattooed on her back. That I was just like, oh, you know, like it was just weird. Like I just didn't think I was going to be pulling down her shirt, you know, in the middle of a Comic Con with people all over there. You can Google it online. Whatever it is, it's a, you know, like you said, it's their logo, their bird, or whatever it is. But I just thought that was hilarious. But the guy who was in the Last Dragon,
yeah,
he's in his 50s, and I mean, he looks like he did in the movie. The guy, and I felt so awkward standing because I took a selfie with him, and it's weird. I'm like, I can't believe it. I got so fat.
Is that your choice of movie then? Is it, Bobby? We're going with The Last Dragon.
Yeah,
so you have to. Okay, so is that? So that means next week you guys are going to do like a little thing on it, or
we'll chat about it. Yeah, definitely.
Next week we'll be talking about, like we've done this week, where we've talked about Clerks and whatever. We'll talk about The Last Dragon. Yeah, so tune in next week, Bobs, and then you can join.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for popping in.
I'm gonna jump in. I gotta go to the post office. Post office is gonna close at 5 o'clock.
Have a great day, mate, and happy New Year to you, buddy.
Catch you later, matey.
Happy New Year to you, man.
Right.
Have a good one.
Right, bye, mate.
Take care.
So there we go, then, ladies and gents. We've got 1988 as a year for review, and we've got The Last Dragon. Now, if Dave's corrected me. He's put the link in for the trailer, not the film. If anyone can find a good link to it on a free site, please put it into the Movie Chats and Film Geeks Facebook page.
I've just ordered it, so I'm thinking, I wonder if it comes on time.
And then we'll go and get that. We'll pick that up.
No.
Kathy's put Roger Rabbit. Yeah, Kathy, we can do Roger Rabbit another time, so keep that one in your hat. The Last Dragon was 1985. Yeah, Dave, I think you missed a wheel, mate. The year for review was 1988. So we've done the wheel early on. Right.
Sit down.
Here he is. Here's the little monster.
Yeah, tell me about it. He's after the light. He's like, ooh, light.
So, other than that, Stevie, what else have we got to talk about? How's the house move going? Are we all set? Are we looking at March, are we?
I think so.
I think.
Yes. What's his leg on that?
Dinosaur.
No dinosaurs, mate, but well done for knowing. I'd like to think so. Lou would like it to be next week, to be fair, but I think it's probably going to be around February, March time. As soon as I find anything out, I'll let you know. But yeah, we've got to start packing stuff up at some point. So, I mean, half this room is packed anyway. It's going to be a mammoth task with these Blu-rays and DVDs.
You can't have dinosaurs.
Kathy saying hi, baby Steve. Yes, Dave, we have another house move.
Good trick, Mum.
I'm assuming he will require Chris's help on the move. I think I'll be busy washing my hair that weekend.
Yeah. That. I just need Chris to do a bit of filming. That's all we need.
Without a word of a lie, wherever we lost Chris, he had his camera out.
It seems that way, doesn't it? It definitely seems like, oh, I'm going to say, where's Chris? Oh, no, he was filming.
Walking around with a big, heavy bookcase, and next thing you know, where's Chris filming the back of the van? I won't let you do that. None of this, I'm not picking that up. It's too heavy shit that you give me on the last one.
No, don't be daft. You spent the majority of the time on the back of that van.
I'm still nursing the cough that I got from that weekend. I still can't shake
What, for being stuck out in the van so long? Just moving stuff around?
Yeah, moving all the heavy stuff.
I was going up and down them stairs.
Yeah, well, you're younger and fitter than me.
No, marginally.
It's still younger.
Marginally. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again. But you might not be friends with me after this.
No. You're definitely having a drink with me this time.
Yeah, well, I'm going to need it after this, mate. Yeah, Kathy, we're staying in the same town. It's just that when we bought this house, it was like our first house that we bought. But if I'm honest with you, I think we went more aesthetically. We were like, oh, this is great. We don't have to do anything in it. We didn't really realise that we had no storage. So we've got no loft. There's no garage. So we've quickly outgrown it with little man. So as much as I hate to admit it, the wife wanted to move. And I've definitely gone along with it. But we found somewhere that's bigger and we're looking forward to moving into it. But obviously this time of year, nothing happens. The solicitors and all them sort of jazz, they're all on holiday anyway, aren't they? So
I'm not moving in with him, Dave.
No, it's just ironically.
Can you imagine how much space that we would need for both our collections?
Yeah, it wouldn't work, would it? It wouldn't work.
So, yeah, keep your eye out, guys, for the content that we're putting out. We are going to start putting out regular content again. Yeah. I know we've took our foot off the pedal this last month or two. Obviously, we've had busy times with Christmas and house moving and stuff like that. And it's just been busy times in general. So we will be starting putting content out again. Let us know who you'd like your top 5 and 5 on. I am starting to look at forgotten cartoon series and franchises as well. So keep your eye out for one of them. And you'll be surprised. My first one's not Transformers, believe it or not.
Yeah. That's not forgotten, though, is it, really? We're reminded every week.
Yeah, well, you can't forget the classics, can you?
As sponsored by Transformers. That's what you should say on your t-shirt.
Right, I'll catch you later, Kathy. She's off for a buffet, apparently.
What's that?
Kathy's gone for a buffet.
Oh, very nice. Enjoy. I say, well, we've said it a couple of times tonight, but for those of the guys that are still here with us, we hope you have a lovely New Year. We had a great Christmas, and I hope you have a lovely New Year as well. So, but take care, Kathy. Thank you for popping along.
So next week, depending on what, Ulysses 31, awesome cartoon, brilliant. If you get some of the toys for Ulysses as well, they're worth a fortune. Next week's show, we are on at 7:15. That's our new standard time. Now,
it's just easier for me, guys. That's what it is.
Yeah, so we'll just leave it at 7:15 for everybody. We'll be looking at 1988 and The Last Dragon.
The Last Dragon. And a bit of Muriel's Wedding.
Yeah, Muriel's Wedding as well. Next Friday, hopefully, depending on what Boris says, I am booked in to have my tattoos finished. It's 12 months in the making, this reappointment. It keeps getting postponed.
You're getting the face tattoo like Mike Tyson, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, the Hangover.
I'm getting Alien. I'm getting Alien finished, and Predator's going up here. So if I can, and if he lets me, I'll get some footage.
Thanks, Dave.
I'll get some footage of the tattoo. I might even go live from the tattoo shop if he lets me.
Yeah, whatever. Well, Lady said, don't forget she's going to be live tomorrow night. A little drunk on a live vodka. Live vodka.
Why? What's happening tomorrow? Is there some big event or something? Laney's going live on a Friday.
Mate, are you serious? Are you absolutely serious right now?
Don't forget, this time last year or New Year's last year, I was drinking Southern Comfort with Andrew, weren't we? It was Andrew's.
Oh yeah, those were the days. Back when we thought, you know what, 2021 is going to be so much better.
Yeah. But no, so Laney's live tomorrow night, so join in for Laney. Keep your eyes out for other posts and stuff like that from us on other movie groups, as well as our Chats and Film Geeks page, because I have been posting on them as well, and we are getting into some really good conversations on those pages.
I think the other thing I want to quickly mention really is obviously this year's been a bit of a roller coaster. We've gone from sort of working with Chris to doing to sort of launching this, together. And while I've really enjoyed it, I think one of the things I want to say is obviously thank you to everyone for the support we've had since we launched it. I've not done anywhere near what I wanted to do. There's so much more I want to bring in the new year.
You tell me about it, mate. I look like a hunchback carrying you.
Oh, whatever. That's why you got a bad back, is it? But obviously, I wanted to just say to everybody that has come across and supported us, especially since we launched, thank you so much for the support. It does mean a lot to us. And hopefully everybody has a fantastic new year. And let's see what we can do in 2022.
I hope you're all right, Queenie.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, you still could have joined us from the hospital. Just get the nurses to put you on the
shut me out.
But so as little Steve said, thank you for the support. We are growing, and we are getting subscribers slowly. My plan for next year will be to try and get 2 videos out a week, as well as the live. Now, obviously, that's easy because it is split between me and this fella here. And he will. I'm pointing at the Necron because little Steve ain't getting anything out.
I'd have you.
So between the two of us, we will get the content out there. If you like the little fun facts as well, the little shorts, keep your eyes out for them because they're only a minute long, and we are looking at getting them sorted out. We'll be interviewing Hollywood. To be honest with you, Dave, I have been joining different Facebook groups, and one of my plans for this year is trying to get other content makers on as well. So we can promote each other and try and help a movie community grow, like you've done with the resellers. That's an ultimate aim of mine. And there might be a few people that you'll know from other channels that aren't part of our community.
Yeah.
As well. So we'll that'll be a good boost for us. And I'd like to see if we could get up around about the 800 subscriber mark. Now we're on.
I wanted 5 at first. I wanted 500. That's where that was my target for next year.
We're on 119 now. So with a bit of a help and a bit of a push from you guys that have got your channels, please help us promote it. And
I know Rich does all the time to push that and Laney. Yeah.
So that's my plan. I know it's a bit pie in the sky, but aim high and we'll get there. That's the way I look at it.
I mean, we appreciate quality over quantity. Do you know what I mean? We've got a good community and we really appreciate it. So thank you so much, guys. And obviously, none of this would be possible without Dave Repairs, as he keeps putting in the blooming chat how much down there. Look, will you be interviewing celebs? That is a good way of growing. Bloody heck, and 120. That's the next target, is it?
We've gained the new subscribers since we've been live tonight. Then, so that's
Dave finally subscribed.
we can do that. That's a valid point. That actually only 88% of our viewers are subscribed. So there's still 12% out there who
but not sure yet. Yeah. They've not made the mind up.
12% of 120 people. It's not a lot. It is a lot when for extra subscribers. So please do hit that subscribe button. On that note, I'm gonna love you and leave you. And I'm gonna say bye to little Steve. Like I say, have a good new year. Catch you next week.
Hope everybody has a great new year, and we'll see you next year. Roll on 2022.
Okay, ladies and gents, and goodbye, and see you soon.
Bye all.